Hey, brothers, back again, and this is something that I wanted to speak on. I think I had to speak on, even though it's really just happening. I guess Rant Week continues. But I think this battle we have going on with the Gynocracy is starting to reach its peak. Ice Cube has met with not only the Republican Party, but also the Democratic Party. In fact, they met with him and talked about his plan. And like a good activist, it doesn't matter. The people in charge are the people in charge. If they want to see you to get something done, you meet with them. And Ice Cube being, a gangster rapper, he's worked with a lot of people he didn't like because it's business. There's one thing about the rap game and the gangster business, it's business. It's always about the money. It's always about pushing ahead. And sometimes you work with unsavory characters or savory characters. Now, whether it's a Democratic Party or Republican Party, I'll let you decide who's savory and unsavory. You know how I feel. I mean, I am a political agnostic. I don't care. Politics is politics. Both sides of the aisle have blood on their hands, so it really doesn't matter. That being said, he did the pragmatic thing to do, which is you meet whoever you have to meet with to get things done, to get your objectives put out on the table. And as usually happens during a political season, especially in a race that's going to get tighter than it's probably supposed to be, Donald Trump and his camp sees the advantage by putting a lot of these tenets out. Now everybody says it's a golden carrot and there's a stick behind it, but the thing is, it's still a carrot. And the carrot is golden enough and juicy enough for you to have to jump at it. So, hey, which the Democratic Party's mad at because they refuse to put out the same carrot. Now, the Democratic Party could have put out a competing plan, but they didn't. And instead of the Democratic Party trying to compete for the black vote and the black male vote especially, because part of what Ice Cube was saying is that we got to get something for black men. And we got to put out a plan, not just for black men, but for black America, period, because this is stuff that we need. And the Gynocracy, who's this season vying for leadership, is actually trying to come after him and cancel him and drag his name through the mud, through Twitter, through Facebook, through the national media, through the black press that has for the last 3-4 years been dragging black men's name, trying to call us terrorists, trying to call us the white people of black people, trying to unsuccessfully defame us. And if it wasn't for the black manosphere, then they probably would have, but we came after them and we put the kibosh on them, which is something they didn't like. So in this political season for the past couple of years, they've been trying to tell us to sit down and shut up. And when they couldn't do it by force, they try to do it by rhetoric. And when they try to do it by rhetoric and it didn't work, they try to shame us. If you don't vote for Biden and Kamala Harris, you ain't black. If you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black. And now that Ice Cube has come out and not just put his hat in the ring, he really didn't do that. He was just presenting a plan. And since things are so contentious, they couldn't ignore him. So the Democrats, as they normally do, and black women as they normally do, I'm sure it was a black woman that came to see him, they try to put out a butter biscuit. We'll do something after the election, after you get on our side, which sounds familiar, which sounds a whole lot like Lyndon Johnson tried to do in 1964. The usual tactic, we're going to offer them something, but we're not going to give them nothing. Now, let's get our goods first before we give them anything. Donald Trump, to his credit, like I said, I give Donald Trump credit where his credit is due. He put something on the table. And not only did he put something on the table, he put a whole lot of guap on the table and say, here, I'm going to give you an offer you can't refuse. I'm going to give you a platinum plan and put some money behind it. A nice little shiny golden carrot for you to jump at. And so, guess what? Black men did. Say, hell, if you're going to put something on the table, then the Democrats aren't. And the Democrats had a full opportunity to do the same thing. And them being Democrats, they might not even have to offer as much as he did. But they didn't even try because guess what? They didn't want to give it to you in the first place. And so the Democratic Party sent the harpies out the Divine Nine, and Brittany Cooper, who's just said that if black men don't get back in line and get back and toe the Democratic Party line so that the Gynocracy can be in power, then we're going to go on a sex strike. We're going to do a Chirac on them. We're going to force black men to get back in line where they're supposed to be. Because we didn't ask them whether we could actually think about, not do it, but think about taking an offer for the Republican Party. Think about our own self-interest, because they didn't ordain it. How dare you? How dare you get out of line? How dare you try to offer something without consulting us? Who do you think you are? The only thing that you could do for black women, especially the Gynocracy, is to die, so that they can parade your body and step over your corpses to get power. This is a power play, folks. And this is a power play by certain figures. And black women are using these certain figures for their own gain. Just like Michelle Obama was never happy being in Barack's shadow, and she wanted to actually be in the lead and take power herself. Black women have never wanted to follow you, never wanted to be in your shadow. Hell, they never even wanted to be by your side. They wanted to be out in front. They want you to walk 6 steps behind, not them. That's why there's way more black female politicians than male politicians. You don't see that on the opposite side for the white women. The white so-called liberal women, to get their men back to work and their men back in a position of power, they turned on the Democratic Party and voted Republicans, because the Republicans were going to help their men. You see no such race loyalty for black women and their men. Black women have always wanted the big piece of chicken. And this time, they're not even afraid to show it. We're going to tell you up front who's boss and who needs to get in line and who leads. And what they're hoping is that they will get their Barack Obama. Even though black men never really elected him or put him up there, they wanted their Michelle in office. And if they can't have Michelle Obama in office, Kamala Harris is close enough. Is close enough. Kamala is their Michelle Obama. Kamala wants to represent them, and they're willing to throw you under the bus to get it. And a certain entity that actually funds BLM and other black female candidates, you notice it's mostly black female candidates, probably has money pumped into the Democratic Party. So beware, folks, beware. Do you really trust your sisters to get up on that platform, drunk with power, and actually do right by you? 1970 all over again. So all I can say, that Gynocracy is showing its ugly face and telling you either get back in line or get run over. With that, I'm going to jump off of here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.